All right, you're thinking about buying a home somewhere in the greater Seattle metropolitan area in the upcoming year. And naturally, your biggest question is probably going to be, what is 2024 going to do for the Seattle real estate market? 2023 was a pretty crazy year. We experienced some really wild rides, some wild swings back and forth with housing prices, interest rates. And, today in this video, we're going to take a little time and discuss what we think is going to happen moving forward. In 2024, are we going to get any relief on interest rates? Are we going to see the number of homes that are available for sale increase? Are we going to see home prices decrease or increase? That and a lot more we are going to be discussing today. So if you are interested in what my opinion on what's going to happen in the Seattle real estate market in 2024 is, stick around because we're getting after it right now. Okay, got an exciting one for you today. I've been looking forward to making this video for quite a while now because this is stuff that I love talking about, I love reading about, and getting a little bit further into it. Just want to share with you what my thoughts are going to be on the upcoming year for the housing market here in Seattle for 2024. And it's not going to be just my opinion that we're looking at. So the websites Zillow and Redfin, I'm sure you've heard of both of those, usually come out every year with a prediction report, and they have teams of economists that have PhDs and do this stuff for a living. They give their input, what they think is going to happen. Now, both of these sources have similar outlooks as to what's going to happen nationally with the housing market here in 2024. But I want to give more of a local look, or my take on what their national projection is and how it stacks up to what I think is going to happen here locally. So this will be fun to just kind of come back, take a look, maybe next year, next December of 2024, maybe see how close we got. Maybe we were way right about stuff or way wrong about other things. But like I said, just be kind of fun and exciting to come back, check it out. But here is what I think is going to happen here in the next year. Now, the first thing that we're going to look at is their first prediction. So number one here, let's pull this up on the screen. So their first prediction is that mortgage rates will steadily decline but remain above 6%. I won't read the whole thing here, but we predict 30-year mortgage will linger around 7% for the first quarter and then fall to about 6.6% by the end of 2024. So I think that definitely there's a lot of leading indicators that are pointing to yes, rates will drop. We've seen rates almost up to 8% as of recently, as within the last few weeks, and we're definitely starting to see a turn. The Federal Reserve had their meeting yesterday. As of shooting this, it's the middle of December 2023. And the Fed had their meeting yesterday. They announced that, yes, they see that inflation is easing. Their numbers are moving in the right direction. Inflation right now is around 3.1%. They'd like to see it at 2%, but they're starting to see month over month declines in the inflation number. So heading in the right direction, which puts downward pressure on interest rates, which is great. So we are going to hopefully continue in that direction. Just yesterday after their announcement, rates dropped about 1/8 to 1/4 of a point across the board. As of today, I follow a Mortgage News Daily website, and the average rate was around 6.62 for today. So it fell even more overnight after the Fed's meeting yesterday. So rates, I think, will continue to move in that direction as long as inflation stays in check. And, I think what could put a halt to that is if, people start going out spending money because they're making all this money in the stock market, and the inflation numbers start taking a turn and head back up, then we could definitely see the Fed raise the rates again, which is not what any home buyers would like to see, obviously. So with that, I don't think we will see any of that happen. Unemployment numbers are low. We're definitely the economy is doing well, and that if this economy was struggling, you would definitely see them reducing rates to help stimulate and boost the economy. But unemployment numbers are pretty good, so things are kind of trending in the right direction for a reduction in interest rates. So that's what I think we will see. If I had to guess, I'm putting out my prediction right here. By the end of 2024, we're going to see rates around 6%. Now, their prediction was that they'd be around 6.5, 6.6. I'm thinking they're going to be even lower than that. Another reason for that being is there is an election coming up, and while presidential elections don't really mean that rates are going to drop, it does introduce a level of uncertainty into the market, and investors do not like uncertainty when making large financial decisions. So they tend to kind of flee to safety as far as their investments are concerned, and put their investments in safer assets like government-backed bonds, which when money shifts into the bonds, it puts downward pressure on rates. And it's just because there's uncertainty with the political landscape. Once that gets figured out and they know what the future is gonna look like, then things will level out. But for the time being, during I think Q2, Q3 of next year, we'll probably see some of that take place, and so that's going to put even more downward pressure on the rates. So we'll see what happens, but I think they're going to be around 6% at the end of next year. The economists, the bigwigs, they think it's going to be 6.5, 6.6. And my question to you, what do you think they're going to be? So just drop it in the comments down below. I want to hear what your prediction for next December 2024. What do you think interest rates are going to be? Drop it in the comments down below, and we'll revisit this next year and see who was right. Okay, let's move into our next prediction here. And Zillow and Redfin as well, they agree on this, and it is it's their guess that home prices will decline by 1% nationally within the next year. And here's what they have to say about it. They say prices will fall 1% year over year in the second and third quarters when the home selling season is in full swing. And, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but, their prediction is that I think they're under the assumption that the number of homes are going to increase, the number of inventory, the homes for sale will increase. And I gotta say that in Seattle, I disagree. I don't think that is going to happen here. Over the last 12 months, so we're looking at 2022 to 2023, where we're at now, we've seen, and this is in the Seattle area, we've seen about a 2.3% increase in real estate values, so we did not see a decline. And I think the only way we would see a decline in these real estate values is if we had a flood of homes come to market. If people decided all of a sudden that they wanted to list their homes, then we would see, the basic supply and demand principles come into play. More homes available, which, yes, I do think there will be more homes available, and we'll get into that very soon. But until there's a lot of homes available, and until home sellers get to a point to where they're comfortable giving up their 3.5%, 4% mortgages that they got 2 and 3 years ago, I don't think people are going to be in a hurry to sell their home until rates kind of get to that 5% mark. That's just my kind of prediction. I think if we did get around to that 5%, that's going to make a lot of those people that are at 3.5%, 3.25%, really kind of think about selling and moving, relocating, upsizing, whatever their plan is going to be. So I don't think we're going to see a massive flood of homes come to the market until that happens, which if we're going future predictions, I would say probably in 2025 we would see that. So I think we're kind of on the, you know, on the front end of that happening. We're close, but I think it's going to be a little while still. So I think we're going to still see shortage in inventory, which is putting pressure on home values, home prices. They're going to increase. We've seen steady increase, you know, even with interest rates where they were, you know, 7.5%, 8%, you know, there's still demand. And, you know, Seattle, this market, you know, say what you want about it. Cost of living is high. Weather sucks. Yeah. But I tell you what, Seattle's an awesome place to live, and it's great. People love it. And this is where they want to be. So I think there's always going to be a demand here. Our tech industry, the local economy is so strong. So I don't think until we get rates in the 5% range, I don't think we're going to see a lot of homes coming available for sale. And in return, I think we're going to continue to see prices increase and appreciate. If I have to put a number on it, if we're talking predictions here, I'm going to say by the end of 2024, we are going to see a 5% increase in real estate values here in the Seattle metro market. So 5%, that's my prediction. They're predicting 1% decline, which is tough. You know, they're talking nationally, you know. I bet a lot of the major metropolitan markets, you know, probably over half of them are going to see increases in real estate value. So, you know, in this area, I'm thinking we're going to continue to keep on churning, keep on climbing up in value. I'm saying 5%. So tell me what your prediction is. Drop it down below. This time next year, so December 2024, what are they going to be? What kind of increase or decrease in real estate values are we going to see? Drop them in the comments. All right, let's jump into our next prediction here. And Redfin and Zillow both agree that in 2024, the number of new listings will tick up. So in 2024, we're going to see more homes available for sale, an increase in inventory. And let me read for you here what Redfin has said. So Redfin said it's seen double-digit annual increase in homeowners contacting it for help selling. It has also seen a small drop in requests from prospective buyers. Nearly all mortgaged homeowners have a rate below the current level. Many are starting to accept that rates won't drop back to the 3s or 4s anytime soon, and they want to sell before prices fall. While, yes, I agree with we will see an increase in inventory here in Seattle locally, you know, with my first prediction, I don't think we're going to see home prices falling. So I think what we will see is that as affordability increases with rates declining, then more homeowners will be more inclined to sell and get out of that 3.5%, 4% mortgage if they're in the 6s. You know, the lower it goes, the more people are going to be like, okay, yep, we're ready to sell. We need to make a move. Let's do it. So the interest rate environment, I think, will create that for sellers, and it will open it up a little bit. But like I said in the previous prediction, I don't think it's going to be a huge uptick in available homes for sale. So we'll see what happens with that. But, you know, in just seasonally homes available, you know, with summertime, springtime coming, you know, it's really going to depend on what the rates are when that spring swing hits. And I tend to think that it's going to be kind of a perfect storm for buyers, and rates will be in the mid 6s, I'm guessing, low 6s. And, you know, there's still going to be homes for sale, but I think there's less competition amongst buyers for these homes. So I think if the earlier you can get in and avoid the competition, because rates or prices will increase, you know, that if my prediction is correct, prices will increase. And as more homes come available, there's going to be more people fighting for them because rates are going to be lower, and more than likely we're going to be paying more money for those homes. So good idea to get in earlier while you can still negotiate the price of the home. Because remember, you can't negotiate the price that you paid for the home, but you can negotiate the rate that you have to buy that home. So if you can get that home at a lower reduced price, or maybe even get the seller to help pay for some of your closing costs, interest rate buy down, 2-1 buy downs, get that rate down into the 5s, then you're coming out way ahead instead of paying $30,000, $40,000 more for a home, but you're getting a 6%, 5 3/4 rate, interest rate. So, I think the earlier that people can jump on that, the better. And, hey, if you're thinking about making a move and want to talk with us about, a 30-minute buyer consultation, help you get things figured out, develop a game plan, get a strategy, this is why you got to reach out to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We're happy to jump on a Zoom call with you, get a game plan going, and make your goal of home ownership here in the Seattle area a reality. So that's what my prediction is for new inventory. I think, yes, it will increase, but how much remains to be seen. We'll see. Okay, the next prediction that we're going to jump into here is both agreed on by Zillow, Redfin. They both seem to think that the new starter home will be the single family rental. Let me just read for you real quick here. This is from Zillow. It says, though some improvement for home buying affordability is expected in 2024, many households will continue to be priced out. Demand and prices for single-family rentals will continue to increase next year as families look for a more affordable option to enjoy amenities like a private backyard or a home that doesn't share walls with neighbors. And I agree with this. I would say we will definitely see more families, more homes deciding to rent, but I would say this, keep this in mind, if you are on the fence about whether or not you should buy, I think the sooner anybody could buy is probably a good idea as long as they can afford it. Yes, you could rent and wait and see what interest rates do and if affordability improves, but renting, the supply of rentals is going to be under pressure because there will be more people renting. So prices are going to go up for rents. And if you can afford it, if you're able to buy a home, I would definitely recommend that's the route that anybody takes. Now, if we do see appreciation continue, let's say it's 5% like we were predicting. If you buy an $800,000 home in 1 year, you're gonna have about $40,000 of appreciation that you would have missed out on if you were still renting, waiting for interest rates to come down. Now, you can't renegotiate the price of that home, but you can refinance that mortgage if the rates do drop. And you definitely want to make sure you're comfortable and can afford it at today's rates. You don't want to be banking on the hopes and dreams of rates coming down, but you are going to be in a much better position financially by owning the home and gaining that appreciation on that home as opposed to throwing the money away on rent. While yes, rentals and renting a home can be advantageous, maybe if you're especially a short-term resident in an area, you're going to be somewhere less than a year or two. Yeah, maybe renting makes sense because you're probably not going to get your money back. But if you're thinking long-term and you can get in the door by, buying that starter home, I would recommend that 100%. Okay, the next prediction we're going to talk about, this one's from Zillow, and let me just read to you what they say here. Traditional home buyers will compete with home flippers for homes that need a little TLC. Typically, the target of home flippers are homes that need a little bit of work before they qualify for dream home status. Will have increased interest from buyers shopping for their primary residence. Inventory has been far below normal for a while, and though Zillow predicts more homes will hit the market in 2024, inventory will remain much lower than pre-pandemic norms. Faced with limited choices, buyers will be willing to overlook small flaws such as outdated bathrooms or kitchen. And I agree with this 100%. And in any normal market, a buyer is going to lean towards a completed, remodeled, refinished home where they don't have to put any money into it you know, even if it means they're paying a little bit more money for it, because a lot of the times they just don't want to do the work. They don't want to deal with contractors. They don't want to deal with the mess and, you know, getting the whole job done. But I think we will see more of an acceptance of that, because home prices are going to continue to increase. And home buyers, as long as they're willing to put in the hard work and build a little sweat equity, I think that there's going to be some great opportunities there for those fixer-up homes, because as they do get more expensive, you know, as homes get more expensive, as, you know, just the cost of everything gets more expensive, it's getting tougher and tougher for these home flippers to make the numbers pencil out, right? They're having a hard time making as much money off of them as they would have in years past. So I think we'll probably see some of those home flippers start to pull back a little bit, which is going to open things a little bit more for those first-time home buyers or people, you know, willing to do the work on those homes. So I think there's a big opportunity there if you're willing to put in the work and, you know, put that kitchen in that you want. You choose the colors, you choose the cabinets, the countertops. While yes, it may be a little more stressful, in the long run, it's going to pay off. Okay, I want to hear some predictions from you. Drop them in the comments down below. Number one, I want to know what you think interest rates are going to be at the end of 2024. I had predicted they're going to be around that 6% mark. What do you think they're going to be? Higher, lower? Drop them in the comments down below. Let me know. The second thing I want to know, if you think home prices in the Seattle area are going to increase or decrease. I had predicted that they're going to increase by about 5%. Let me know what you think. I know that this is really top of mind for a lot of you out there looking to buy that home here in the Seattle area. And you know, whether you're making that move next week, next year, it's never too soon to reach out. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Happy to help you make that smooth move to Seattle. And hey, if you want to learn even more about living in Seattle, click on this playlist that's popping up right here. Ton of information on pros and cons of living in Seattle, vlog tours, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything you'd want to know about living right here in Seattle. So check that out. It's popping up right now. And until next time, we'll see you around. Take care. Bye.